So what's the difference if I fucking ask for a flat rate of, you know, this, rather than being taken out on a rooftop date and wasting my time? We're all getting to a point, you know what I mean? And if you're looking for this and we're adults and we can have adult relations, I can put out my needs and what I want, just like you could put out what you want and your needs. And we should be able to have that, not think it's a difference or shame one another or it affect our future relationships, because at one point you were expecting sex out of me. So if I ask you for the direct money rather than you wasting it on a meal I don't need, then you know what I mean? It's different if a woman asks, okay, I'd like these services in exchange for sexual favors. Okay, great. You got taken out on a shopping spree and now you want to fuck. But if a woman is just being honest, what's the difference? We're all here on honest adult relations.
I can see what's up. So do you look down on the man that's with it?
No, I don't look down on any man that comes into the strip club that is looking for services. I direct them in a adult manner. You're adult enough to ask me, hey, do you do this? If you do this, how much do you do this for? I put my price out there, and if they're not comfortable with it, you know, thank you for your time. Go on to the next girl, find what you're looking for. But if not, I'm not here to shame you.
Yeah. How do you feel about the man that comes in there and convince? I'm sure,
like you're trying to convince he can save you.
Like stop, like come, come home with me. Quit this job, like girl, you don't deserve this. You don't have to do this.
You don't gotta be out here with.
You know, I can take care of you.
You know, and I try not to clown them. I try not to embarrass them, because really, men, the natural providers, they really do come in here and they really do see something out of us because they hear us talk. You know, I tell them I don't lie about most of my personal life with my customers, because the whole way to build consistent customers is to just be honest. Some men like to help me more, like to see me because they know I have kids. Some of them like to see me because they know I'm in college and they're helping me pay for my college. It's just about honesty and building that connectionship. And you know, if they think that they can offer me something that the club cannot, God bless them. And I really appreciate the attempt. But I'm honest with them too, and I'm like, look, you know, my schooling alone costs $15,000 plus each semester, and on top of my children, and I have so many different things in my personal life that no man could save me from financially. You know what I mean? I've dug myself a hole, but that's, you know, I'm 22. I'm putting myself out there, so a lot of men also think that I'm young and naive, and you know what I mean. So a lot of it's I try to be respectful until there's a reason to not be. You know what I mean? And most men take no perfectly fine. They'll be like, oh, okay, well, take my number or take my Instagram. They'll be like, don't worry, I'll save you. And I'm like, yeah, see you next Tuesday, Paul.
So the man's trying to save you. Do you look at him like, damn this simp?
No, I you know, and I don't know if that's just because of how I've grown up, and I kind of see you can tell. It depends. Like I said, it just depends what type of man. If the man's coming in there and he's kind of being like a jerk about it, and he's like, oh, I can save you. Why don't you want me to save you? Is my money not good enough? It's like, okay, like go back. Yeah, it's like, okay, now I'm going to separate myself from you because you think you have more than me.
Security.
Yeah, I'm like, Jew, please. You know, I always have a automatic message, like, you know how when you're like press like one for this. I'm like, you know, but the men that are being genuine, like I said, I try not to put them in any type of category, because every man thinks they can shoot their shot, you know. And I try to remind all the girls to be humble. We're all women, and these men come in here genuinely thinking we're beautiful sometimes, and think that we're, you know, some fantasy, and we need to be respectful of that, because they're in here for a service. It's customer service too, you know.
Okay, so would you advise the guys not to try to holler at the women? No. Or if you do say that, nah, go ahead and shoot your shot, how would you tell them to approach them, being that y'all done heard every game, every line, every
customers,
anything?
There's some women that have built consistent. I know some girls that have had customers' children, and they've taken that, like, they've met customers, they've gone on dates. It's became personal. If a customer comes up to me and shows interest in a dancer, I'm gonna go pull that dancer aside, not in the direct moment, because I feel like it's a little bit too spotlight. You know what I mean? Like, hey, but you know, I'm like, oh girl, come here. I'm like, oh, homeboy over here. No. No, I try to ask
about
them.
You all night.
Well, some of them, you know, we've had deals with stalkers too. You know what I mean? So I never know. I never know who's asking for who, and I try to say like, okay, look, old man with the beard over there. You know what I mean? Like he's, you know. I try to see where the relationship is. If the girl's interested, like I said, I've had girls that have been like, oh, he's so hot. You know, let's get his number. Let's meet outside. And that's that. Whatever they do outside the club, like I said, we're all girls. We're all men. You know what I mean? We all got physical attraction. And it's natural for women in the stripper world. And I try to steer new dancers and new sex workers, period, away from this, because you can't always go for what you're attracted to. Because that person is not always going to have money. Now, sometimes we don't go to that person because of the money, but just because we're attracted to them, but it's really diverse.
Okay. What do you think about it?
I mean,
she's
like, we gotta hear your side too.
I'm like, you talk your shit.
Now, do you see? Is there a difference between paying for sex and taking girls on dates?
A difference? I mean, also I think it really is like up to that person and how they run game, you know, because like at least for me, like I love tricks, you know. Obviously, like I love tricks.
Hey,
it
keep
is
it real.
Amen to that, sister.
You know, like my vato, he's gonna be a trick, and that's that. But at the same time, like he knows game too, and like if I'm really serious about that person, and I divide between the two, that's just my feelings and my perspective on it, you know. But I don't think you should shame, or it should be like, you know, a big old difference. But I think you know when something's game and when something isn't.
Do you look down on the dude that pays for sex?
I don't look down on it just because I know what it is, you know.
Okay.
I think at that point we both know what it is. So.
Would you ladies say both? Like majority women look down on it? They're like, damn, he has to pay for sex. That's whack.
No, women look down on women more than the men. It's never. Really? I have never heard a woman shame a man more than I've heard a group full of women shame a woman for selling the sex, which is so weird, because wouldn't you hate the asker more than the giver? I'm like, but
then those same women post those like mad provocative pictures on shaking, twerking, all that shit. So how are you going to shame it?
For getting money for it. That's why I try not to. I'm very specific on, like I said, who is in my space when it comes to game like this, because there's women that will look at you all day long and be in your face and say they respect you, but then be talking on social media and say, oh, well, women that sell sex, or 304 is this, 304 is that, you know. Oh, gosh, yeah. There's every label in the book. There's every label in the book for for women that do those sexual favors, but I don't see, like I said, I don't see the names for the men. You know what I mean? So
can you ladies describe the difference between the man who don't have to take women out on dates and get sex, and describe a man that has to pay for a date or he has to pay for sex? What's the difference between those dudes?
Damn.
The media. It's all on how you present yourself. Like, and just not even just the media, but it's the dudes that come in with stacks, those fake stacks that, you know, clutch onto them like it's their rent money. But they, you know, they want to come in and seem like that. You know, they always have the girls all over them, and they always end up with taking home some girl, you know. And it's always the kind of older dudes. The older...
Oh, it's older guys? Like around what age group you think?
Like 40. Varies. Well, yeah, because there's a lot of younger customers, not like younger, but like early 30s or so. It just depends on what your, like, not relationship status, but it's just, I guess, how you are socially interactive. You know what I mean? Because we have a lot of, it's hard to stereotype them. Just, it's such a diverse community. Everybody wants sex. You know what I mean? So we have even the good-looking dudes, too, that come in and they try to buy sex, but those are usually the cheap ones, like I said.
Oh, really?
The finer the dude, the cheaper they are. Yes.
Okay. Why do you think that is?
Well, because, so my tricks, that I have a couple of sugar daddies, and I've had them for a few years. Like I said, I've been in this game. One of them's an older veteran, and he's been divorced for years, and he, you know, it's just kind of to himself, but I feel like when they don't feel that confidence, I make him feel that confidence.